standing on business. Together now. Standing on business. Bitch, always.
Man, y'all know it's me and Pop. We over here on this couch. I'm pretty sure we on like part 4. Man, this is absolutely a great episode. Shout out to the lady on the left. We here to stand on this business. Y'all support the channel, man. Y'all come get y'all a shirt. If y'all need us to put on what kind of business you standing on the back, let us know. The feminist lady to the left, she's an old school feminist. She regrets it, and she's now letting you know exactly what that done to our society. She was born in the 60s. This is a great listen.
They used to control men by you're living in a town where everybody knows if you're the male who's treating his wife poorly. You know, that's also part of it. We're more atomized, we're less community oriented, and you can get by with a lot more. I mean, even, you know, where I live in Brooklyn, I'm so convinced that I'm invisible, that I'm not always aware of my behavior. I'm not always aware that actually people might know who I am. I really do feel like I'm walking around in a vacuum. And that might lend itself to behaving in, you know, rude ways that I wouldn't normally if I were living in a community where I knew.
Go for it.
Real quick, y'all. Notice what she said. She said, I'm going to give y'all what she said. She said, men kept other men in check.
When we were closer in community, you didn't want to be known as the guy who was treating your wife and your kids poorly.
Bam.
That wasn't going to be good for you with the other men in that community.
Come on.
That wasn't okay.
Come on.
The farther we strayed away from family and community, it became okay for you to do that. You know why? Because don't nobody know what's going on. Because now we not in the same family and community environment. So now he can act a damn fool when he want to.
Right. So all them abusive relationships and all that cheating and all that kind of stuff. See, because when you got all these other men in the community, that ain't what's going on, then you don't want to be the black sheep, because now all of these guys is getting on you. They all talking about you, and those men, let's be real, because the community, those men, I'm going to say it again, they going to help keep you in check.
Now you got the shame, the accountability, and the consequences and repercussions for you treating your wife and your kids horrible. And you don't want to walk around in your community like that.
That's right.
That everybody knew me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we've sort of broken apart these communities that women actually held together. So where I grew up, you know, my mother wasn't friends with everybody, but we knew everyone. Mm-hmm. I knew everyone in the subdivision, which family lived in what house, how many kids they had.
That's right.
And, you know, some sense of what the parents were like.
That's right.
Where I live now, I don't know. I don't have a clue.
That's right. Come on. That's real.
And that's real. The only time I did in Brooklyn was when I was not working and I was home all day, and I wound up becoming friends with someone who had a kid. And then she and I were roaming around the neighborhood together, and I got to know everybody because she was more connected to the neighborhood because she had a child. And then my association with her connected me more, and that we look back on and say that was one of the best periods of time in both our lives. Wow. When we got also after work, people were coming home from work and they would stop by our stoop to talk, and I knew the kids.
See?
You know, and then the building got sold and we were all dispersed, and that was the end of that community.
Let me tell you something that your son want to address real quick.
Wow.
I've noticed a lot on TikTok based off what this lady just said. She said those were some of the funnest times on life when her and the mom look back on it.
That's
from hanging out on the stoop in Brooklyn and meeting the people in the community and meeting the parents and meeting the kids, right? And now that this lady is older and she ain't got no kids, I'm convinced that the younger people on TikTok really tell themselves, because they don't got no kids, that people like me with kids are actually thinking about you. I promise y'all, I don't give a shit about you, your life, or what y'all are doing. Let me tell you something. Because I am a parent, because I get to meet other parents, that leads to other relationships with other fathers, with other wives for my wife. Right. That leads us to having other situations with other kids, as far as me coaching them, because I'm a coach. I always got something to do. I promise you, I'm not thinking about the fact that you not having no kids. But what I really want younger people to pay attention to is this is a woman who has no kids, who started this game at the beginning of feminism. And what she telling you is that one of the most fun moments in her life was hanging out with this other mom, meeting people in the community, talking to the kids when they coming home from school and that kind of thing. But because when you get older and there is no family and you ain't got no husband and you ain't got no kids and it's just you will become invisible to everybody else in this world. So while y'all make these TikToks right now out here running y'all mouth like y'all cooler than everything going just because you ain't got no kids, rewind this 20 and 30 years and here's what you need to know because you didn't build no family. Nobody would notice you were here. Nobody would care that you were there. And that's the bottom damn line.
And guess what we're going to ask you? We're going to ask you about your family because it's a common thing.
Come on now.
Because people ask you about your family, your husbands, your wives, how many kids that you got.
And you ain't got shit. I worry about your dumb ass dog.
And you know, and guess what? And here's the reality. And so I got stories that I can't even tell you, that we can't even swap stories because you can't even relate.
You can't even relate to me.
You can't relate to me, which is what you said a
and
minute
as
ago.
you just said,
about leave to other fathers and wives and that kind of thing. Because everybody can relate, like the lady said about the community. So we can relate
as a community.
As a community. But
I don't give a shit about your dog, your cat. Don't show me none of them stupid ass photos. Don't talk to me about your animals. I do not give a shit. So for all you childish people, you need to understand, I'm building relationships with other humans outside of just me having kids. These kids get grown. I got grown kids. I got younger kids. Guess what? If I run into any parent from the older kids to the younger kids, we gonna still sit and laugh and joke about the time the girls did this, the boys did that. Remember when they was over here? Remember when they was over there? We gonna do that until God call us home. When you ain't got no kids, nobody gives a shit, and you ain't got nothing to talk about, and you ain't got nothing to relate to. Ain't nobody running up on you talking about that one time that you and they dog was at band camp. No American Pie. Get out of here with that goofy shit. Don't nobody give a fuck about what your dog was doing, your parrot was doing under your lame ass cat.
That's a fact.
Back into this episode.
That golden period of time. So, you know, in my neighborhood, my mother had a few friends and they became lifelong friends and they connected over needlework and watching each other's children. And they were also all around the same age, which is another issue we can talk about. If everybody is dating toward marriage,
come on now,
which in my experience, that was thrown away. Now you don't know what you're doing. But everybody was dating toward marriage and family formation. And so everybody's around the same age when they're having their children. And this creates a sort of, you know, a community.
I agree.
If I could quote myself from one of my own comments, nothing marginalizes a woman more than going childless.
Come on now.
Oh,
You want to avoid getting stuck holding the bag.
Come on
but
now.
Then again, you know, if you end up with nothing, you're even more endangered.
Yeah, there's so many things you just said that are interesting threads to pull on, like the sense of anonymity that you describe, being out of touch with a community, feeling like you're just one of a bunch of people, but not part of any kind of meaningful collective. That is just like the internet.
but
Now,
real quick, let me
go
say this
ahead.
real quick. But notice what she just said real quick. She said that you ain't. I'm gonna say it like this. Your life is really meaningless. It's what she just got done saying.
After you hit a certain age as a woman, you ain't reproduce.
Right,
It is.
exactly. That's what you just said. So you ain't got nothing going. You don't have no family. Your life was literally meaningless. Go ahead. I'll let you have it.
As a 60-year-old woman in Brooklyn, she just said, I feel invisible. You don't have no family. Not only that, you don't even know what some of the little slang is. You don't know what the kids is saying, because I'm a parent. I know what the kids is saying. I got kids from 21 all the way to 10.
Man.
But because of that, right? They friends, everything. When everybody come over, oh, what up, Unc? Oh, what up, Unc? What up, Unc? Everybody, from the girls to the gals. Everybody, from the guys to the gals. Everybody call me Unc. If I'm not Pops, I'm Unc. Right? But either way it go, I'm in tune. And even just the speaking to me, when they come in and out my house, just keeps me in tune. She just said it's 60 with no kids. These people don't even know I'm there. Because I'm not relevant in the community. Because I ain't got no husband. Because I ain't got no family. Because I ain't got no reason to be involved in the community. Because the only thing I got in the community is me with no child and no husband, no family. So these people don't even know that I exist.
You said it when she said, you would just say?
She said women are more marginalized the most when you don't have no kids. She now knows that as an ex-feminist.
I ain't relevant.
That's now too old to have kids.
I'm not irrelevant. She let it be real.
I'm
not relevant.
You relevant to the next 4-5 generations. You relevant to the next 4-5 generations of who Grammy is.
That's right.
At her age now, with no husband, no kids, and no family, you not relevant to nobody but you. But feminism told her it was going to give her everything. She out here letting it be known. It didn't give me nothing but me being invisible to people today.
And I want to say this to all women. Once again, what you was talking about and what you were searching for, you already had and more.
It's me and Pop. We over here on this damn couch. We over here on YouTube. Y'all come check us out.